Hello, I am doing a quick review today. I haven't done a video in a super long time, and that's okay. But I was recently contacted by a gentleman named Ron Miller. Hey Ron, thank you so much for contacting me. And he asked me to review their Christian Daily Planner that is available for sale. And so this is just going to be a quick review. It's been crazy here in Alaska. In my part of Alaska, we've had record heat, like above 90. It has never been above 90 where I live before, ever. And the homes here don't have air conditioning. So, yeah, it's been a terrible experience, for people who are used to maybe 75 degrees being the maximum heat. To suddenly go to 90 and above and trying to deal with that and live with that without any kind of air conditioning in the homes. So it's been a struggle. Even our animals have been having trouble. Anyway, with that being said, let's get back on top. Oh, plus we've been having wildfires, so there's smoke in the air, and I'll actually, at the end of this, I'll show you a peek out my window. I'm sitting here in my studio. Show you a peek out my window, and you can kind of see how the haze is looking in the towards the mountains there. You might hear my cat jumping around. Hopefully she won't jump on my table because she likes to, demand attention. It's all about her. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started on this. Okay, so this was sent to me by a gentleman named Ron Miller, as I said, and you can check out this planner at christiandailyplanner.com. And he sent a nice letter. So let me just run down a few features that are listed in this letter here. They are a small family business, and the 2019 Christian Daily Planner is their first release. That's this one right here. Their goal is to receive feedback on this planner to help them refine the upcoming 2020 planner. And they will be launching a Kickstarter campaign for the 2020 planner. Some of the features that we will go over within this are to enable users to achieve personal, professional, and spiritual goals. The spiritual tools included are the weekly service notes, a sketch pad, and prayer journal. That sounds really interesting, isn't it? A weekly spiritual goals, gratitudes, and reflections sections, as well as a Bible reading log. I really like that. It sounds great, doesn't it? Personal tools included would be weekly personal goals and task section, monthly goals and habits reminder, as well as a monthly budget plan page. Unique to their planner are perforated or removable pages, and I think that's not all the pages, it's just some of the pages. So, let's see. This allows the user to take these pages with them to store or to hang them up. To the store or to hang them up where you can see them. They are the grocery shopping list, the weekly planner meal. You ladies who do weekly planning, or men, you people who do weekly meal planning, I applaud you because this chick just isn't that into cooking. I did it more so when my kids were little, but now that they're grown and out of the house, it's like, whatever he goes. What's for dinner, honey? I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. So we just kind of wing it half the time. Let's see. A food and exercise tracker, travel checklist, holiday meal planner, and gardening planner. Users can remove these pages and make copies. How great is that? So sometimes you get a book or something like that has these really great idea pages that you like, but they're kind of copyrighted. So they don't necessarily want you to make copies of them, but right here they're saying go for it. Thank you so much for that, Ron. That's a blessing. Okay. Sorry if you can hear the road noise. I have to have the windows and doors open, otherwise, I'll get sucked in by the heat because I'm Alaskan. I can only handle, 75 degrees max, and my studio gets over 100 degrees because of all the windows. So anyway, you'll hear a car driving by or a plane driving by every once in a while. or maybe my cat, or even a cow moo because I live on a farm. All right, back on topic, sorry. Okay, let's see. So you can remove these pages and make copies. In addition, you can visit their website, join their mailing list, and receive unlimited downloads of these pages. What? How awesome is that? That is so wonderful. So wonderful. Okay. We believe this planner is a powerful organizational tool, even aside from the Christian elements, and is a great gift idea for a person that's hard to buy for. So, just some other information that they would like you to know. You can receive 50% off the 2019 Christian Planner. Oops, sorry about knocking that. With free shipping from Amazon Prime, and there is the website, and I will put the link below. And you can also pre-order the 2020 Christian Daily Planner. Join at their mailing list at christiandailyplanner.com to receive instructions on how to do that. So I will go ahead and list all those links down in the description. But let's jump in here. Okay, so this is, I have gone ahead and opened it, and this is the presentation. Oh, let me put this on so you can see. It's the black color. Here's the band there, the elastic to hold it. And this is really cool right here. This is a pin. It comes with a free pin, and it is attached by an elastic band on the spine. And that is really cool. And at first I was wondering if that would have impact how it opens. And it doesn't. Look at this. The pin is still in it, and this opens beautifully, perfectly flat. Sorry, that was out of the frame a little bit. It opens just really nice, even with the pin on there. So let's take the pin out. It has the embossing on there, and it has the vegetarian veg leather, PU leather, I think it's called. So it has that pebbly leather feel, but it's not real leather. So let's get started. Okay, let me talk about the packaging first off. When I received this, it was wrapped in this tissue paper, which is very pretty, but it was only mailed in the bubble envelope with a little bit of bubble wrap. And unfortunately, our lovely mail as it is, which, I don't blame them because they go through, 1 billion or more pieces of mail a day. So it did get scrunched. The corners got hit, bent up. So that is one of the things that my suggestion will be, definitely some better packaging, because it was really bad when I first opened it. I mean, these corners were truly scrunched in, and you could tell that somebody probably dropped it in transit or something. Anyway, so it definitely needs a little bit of the better mailing. Now, this is a ballpoint pen. It has a little glob protector thing on there, so I'm just taking that off. It's a metal pen. It's not plastic, so that's really kind of nice. It's your higher quality pen. And I'm just going to scribble on here to see if it writes right away. Oh, and it actually looks like it's a gel pen, which is cool because I like gel ink. On this tissue paper it smears, but everything smears on tissue paper, so it's a very nice weight. It's got a little bit of weight to it, which is cool. It has a little diamond in there for us girls who like some sparkle. It has a little diamond on the clip, so how cool is that? That's nice. But this is a nice pen, and it fits wonderfully in that loop right there. And this actually looks big enough where you could add another pin. And of course, if you're someone like me and you like color, you can always take, one of your colorful pins. Let me grab one here. Color, and put that in there. And so this Papermate pen is fatter, of course, than this pen, but it fits in there just perfectly. So I really, really like that idea. That's excellent. Okay, now let's talk about the size. This is a substantial weight here. Now I'm leaving this up here just for contrast, for video purposes. This is a substantial book, meaning it's kind of heavy. It's big. If you like that, that's wonderful. For me, if I was taking this to church or something like that, it would be a little bit difficult because it is so big. If I was taking this by itself, it would probably be fine. But let me just compare the sizes. I forgot to measure it before I came out here, and I don't have a ruler out here. So this is an A5, 5.5, 8 by 5.5. So, and I'm just, you know, I'm not really doing a video on that one, so I'm just turning it upside down so you can kind of see the size difference. I would say this is a good maybe 1.5 inches larger on each side. So rough estimate on the size is like at least 9 inches by 6.5, maybe 9.5 by 6.5. So it's substantial. Again, this is 8 by 5.5 A5 size. That's your typical kind of A5 journal size. This is my my traveler's notebook that I made. It's leather. I have an A5 notebook in here that I use for scripture writing. I have some other stuff in here that I use. So this is pretty big. I mean, this is like the biggest thing that I usually carry. But it's smaller even than this is. So that gives you an idea on size. I mean, it's still at least probably at least a 1/2 inch larger in width and probably a full inch or even more taller than this is. So just so you know, the size is really, for me, it would give me a pause because it's just fairly large. So, but if that doesn't bother you, that's great. And it has some weight to it. It's definitely, of course, it's definitely heavier than this. And it's even heavier than this. But let me show you the width. It's also really thick. You can see how thick it is. So it has a lot of pages in it, comparison wise. So, and let me get this other little notebook. So you got a lot of pages there. So there's a reason why it's so heavy, because it gives you a lot of stuff. So let's open it up and take a look. Okay, so it opens up. You got a blank page here. Now, one of the things you can see, which is not unusual, I don't have a notebook that in here with me that shows this, but you see the little bulge where the elastics are attached. That's not really unusual in these types of notebooks that have the elastic bands. However, I don't know what that one goes to because there's no elastic here. So we got something looks like embedded underneath here. I don't know what it is. You know, that might bother some people, might not, but hey, I'm not going to worry about it. You can see a little bit better here where it was scrunched in the mail. That corner was kind of pushed in a little bit. Okay, so then you turn the page and you have, you know, the intro basically. This planner belongs to your phone, your email address, and please return to. It has the website, it has the Facebook, and Instagram. So let me show you those. Facebook and Instagram. Christian Daily Planner on both Facebook and Instagram. So you can find them in many different places on social media. Okay. Oh goodness, sounds like my dog's out there playing, like growling at somebody. All right. This is wonderful. It gives you how to use it. All the things included in the back. In the back of your planner are the perforated pages you can tear out. So it just lists all of the stuff. And I can't go over everything here, otherwise it'll just be too long. Okay, it has their mission statement, a thank you, how did we do? They want to know. They want feedback. If they did good, if you're completely satisfied, what's not good. If you weren't completely satisfied, let them know. And it gives their email address. So, please read a product review and you can receive 10% off. So how awesome is that? It's all right in there. Also, when you buy this doesn't just go into their business, or they pass it forward, and thank God for this. The Christian community supporting other people around the world who need our help, so they donate 10% to charity. Water, we know here in Alaska right now with the heat, we're also in drought, and one of our friends' well dried up. We actually had somebody hit a power line pole right across from us the other day, and it knocked out our electricity, so it knocked out our well, so we didn't have water for a while. Oh, thank you. Sorry.
Hash browns and egg McMuffin.
Okay. Sorry. My husband just snuck home and brought me some breakfast. How nice was that? That was unexpected. I'm not going to edit that out because, that's life, and that was really nice. So, anyway, so their donation, it tells what their donation goes to. So that's incredible. I love that. I absolutely love that. All right, now let's get to what's inside. It tells you how to use this. Dates to remember, goal map, budget, sketch pad, prayer journal, service notes, my context, Bible reading log. If you do scripture writing plans like I do, and that is what I use this notebook for a lot, is scripture writing plans, as well as I do have a prayer journal, which I actually didn't bring out here to my studio. My studio is a freestanding studio, not connected to the house, so I can't just run back in and get it. But you have all of that all in one here. Even a password organizer. That would really be good to have my passwords organized. I'm a little bit leery on writing those and stuff, though, because all somebody has to do is pick it up and they know your password. So I'm a little hesitant, but some people use them, and it's right there if you need it. So again, more of what's inside. Now, one of the things here also is it looks like, I don't know what that is, but you can see a little black band right there. Actually, it looks like part of the title to the following page. So it looks like it might have been skewed a little bit while it was printed or something, but the pages are nice and straight. So that doesn't bother me. That's just something to take note of. It might be only in this one right here and not everyone. I don't know. So you got your 2019 calendar, dates to remember, and of course I need that big time for, my cat is trying to get out, for birthdays, anniversaries, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to let my cat out real quick. Come on, kitty. Let's hide. There you go. Okay, so that was a screen door. Sorry. Real life, real life stuff. Okay, and it even has helpful hints. How cool is that? Color code your created dates with the corresponding date on the year overview page. Great. So let's say my birthday, July 7th. I would make that one of my favorite colors. Let's pick purple. So I would highlight mine in purple right here. And then I'd come over to July 7th and I would highlight that in purple too. Color coordinated. Excellent idea. I like that. Okay, a list of holidays. That's always helpful. It doesn't have my birthday on here. How could it not, right? Anyway, let's move on. Goal map for 2019. In order to arrive at your destination, you must know where you are going. Make 2019 a great year for mapping it out. Reflect on last year's goals and achievements with the intent to add or improve upon these in the coming year. Interesting. I know a lot of people do this kind of thing. I never have. There's a place for 2018 in review and then your 2019 goals. But that is really cool. That's something I could try. It doesn't look like it'd be, too hard or too involved. It just, and I imagine it's really helpful just to be honest with yourself and, so you can really review and evaluate things that you really want to change in the upcoming year. So let's say that, we're looking at 2020 instead of 2019. Down at the bottom here also is a Bible verse. A wise man thinks ahead, a fool doesn't, and even brags about it. Oh my gosh, am I bragging? Yeah, no. Anyway, that's Proverbs 13:16. Now, I'm not bragging about not doing planning like that because it's not anything to brag about, right? So the cool thing is we got all kinds of Bible verses down at the bottom. I really like that. Okay, and you open it up, and we're in January. And you have your goals for January. It has a reflection type thing right here. Reflect on last month's goals to track your progress and determine what you should and shouldn't continue pursuing. And you list those out. You have your monthly budget, and it has a lot. One of the things I would suggest, well, it has other. So you can add other. Under income, it's got one space for other. Under expenses, it has one space for other. Savings has one space for other. There's a whole lot here, but you know, some people might have more than one other. I suppose if you had something like for me, I don't have a sewage bill. We have our own septic and stuff, so I could white that out and just write in my own. So you can tailor it like that. I don't really like that tape whiteout though, so I'd have to figure out a different way of doing that. Okay, now you have your whole calendar. You got your goals, you got your monthly calendar, you have a scripture verse, prayer reminders. What will you focus your prayer on this month? How cool is that? Habit reminders. What habits will you focus on this month? And then a section for notes. Excellent. Now you have December through January. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a weekly. So you have monthly, and then you have a weekly. December, so of course it's covering the full week, which included some days in December 2018, and then January of 2019. And you have hourly. You can write, your notes or do little doodles or decorations or scripture verses. If you're doing scripture writing verse, this might be a good thing there. You have personal goals, spiritual goals, weekly tasks. I'm thankful for. That's always good to include. Goal reflection. And then you have your hourly from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. If you're like me, though, in the summer times, my day would start at 5 a.m. So, but, that's okay. Not everybody, lives my life. But that's one of the things with planners is you need to have a way to make them personal. And that only impacted me in the summertime. It doesn't impact me in the wintertime. So, it's not really necessary to have it start before 6 a.m. Okay, so this is something that would help, if you take this to church, you have service notes. You have it, the date, the speaker, the message, and then a place for notes, and your takeaway, your prayer journal, and a sketch pad. And this is on the weekly part, so you have this every week. Let's see if I have any in here, but I do. A lot of people do Bible art journaling. Let's see if I have any in this one. This is a fairly new notebook, so I might not have done any art scripture journaling or anything. No, I haven't done it. But if you look at some of my other videos, which I haven't done in a super long time, but some of my past videos are Bible art journaling. I like to sketch. I'm an artist, so I like to do sketches and drawings and things like that. I actually do that often more times than I take notes. But I'm also a business person. I'm a professional working. My career was with the state of Alaska in welfare programs and vocational rehabilitation programs. And so I also take copious notes like crazy because, that was part of my job. So then you get on to the next week, and it's exactly the same. So you have service notes, prayer journal, sketch pad for every week, which is cool. So you can take that along with you as you go to church. And again, scripture verse right there, a different one. Let's see, what was the last one? I believe they're different. Yep, each scripture is different. And you can see sometimes the layout is a little bit, that's because it's a different page. We got monthly and weekly, so let's move to a monthly. Okay, so You can see that the sizes are a little bit different. Of course, February only has 28 days, so I think they had a little bit more room. But things are just laid out a little bit differently every once in a while. Oh, that's because, never mind. Oh my goodness. I haven't had breakfast yet. I'm a little bit hungry. So, here we go. Yeah, okay, they're laid out exactly the same. The monthly and the weekly layouts are exactly the same. They don't change. But the weekly and the monthly are different. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and skip over all these months. And again, you have a new scripture with every month, which is cool. I really like scripture. I mean, we cannot read our Bibles enough. Oftentimes, if I don't have, you know, if I can't sleep, and I just did this the other night, I couldn't sleep. So I get my phone and I turn on, I have the YouVersion Audio Bible app, our YouVersion Bible app, and it has audio Bibles. And when I can't sleep, I will listen to the Bible, the scripture being read to me in the middle of the night. And that is just such a peaceful thing if you're just if you're struggling with sleeping. For me, it makes a huge, huge difference. I use earplugs, you know, the earbuds, so it doesn't disturb my husband. And it's just a wonderful thing. And look, okay, let's get back to this. 2 nice ribbon bookmarks, 2 different colors. How cool is that? Okay, so go through all of these all the way to November. Here we go. Now we're getting back to the other parts of it. Okay, that was December. All right, now you got a reminder here. Receive 10% off of your 2020 planner. Christmas gift ideas. This is an excellent list. You know, I think of things, or I see things throughout the year, and I just forget by the time Christmas comes along. Who it's for, where to buy it, was it purchased or not, the price. Excellent idea. Christmas gift ideas. I'm going to have to start using that. That for me will be helpful. Oh, and that is at the beginning of December. So you really would want to mark that, right? Use one of your handy bookmarks. Yeah. And then you start December. Okay. And isn't that just the perfect spot for it at the beginning of December? All right. At the end, you have 2019 in review. Then you have the 2020 yearly. And now we get into the extras at the back of the book. Bible reading log. Oh, look at that. The entire Bible laid out with each chapter, so you can just check it off as you read it. You know, and a cool idea, get your pretty pencils, or your color pencils. I have colored pencils, I use those. Do it in a rainbow pattern, right? You know, start off with pink, go to purple, then go to blue and just mark them off. Then go to green and mark them off in color like in a rainbow like that. It makes it so pretty. Okay, so I really like this too. That is excellent. So we got Old Testament here, New Testament here, and you even have room where you could do some sketching or some washi tape or pretty decorations, whatever it is you like to do. For a man, if you don't, yeah, men love to draw. You know, I know my husband is an artist. I know plenty of guys who like to sketch. But I don't see a whole lot of men using washi tapes or stickers. So, but if you're into that, go for it. Decorate it or leave it plain. You could be minimalist. You know, there's some of my favorite pieces of art that I do are just in black pen, black and white, and they're beautiful and they're wonderful. It doesn't have to be, you know, a rainbow. It can be very classy and minimalistic. Okay, so then you have your contacts page, which is nice and big. Name, address, phone, and email. So that works. My contacts and other books to read, movies to watch. Excellent. So when you're done reading it, just check it off. That's a good list. I like to do ratings on mine too, if I liked it or if I didn't like it. I usually use a star rating, you know, like 4 stars or whatever. And you have 2 whole pages of that, so that's cool. Here's your password organizer. And let's see, it has a helpful hint on the bottom, which might help me. Let's see what it says. Only write a partial password or password hint that only you can recall. This will keep your password secure if your planner is lost. So smart. So smart. ways to use it. Okay, so then you get to the back. Okay, and these are where they're perforated. Mine were sticking together a little bit right there. I don't know if you can see that at the very bottom. Not a big deal for me, but you know, some people, they want to review, so we're reviewing it. Grocery list. And these are the perforated pages. And it says, warning, all pages provided by the Christian Daily Planner are copyrighted and are intended for use by the purchaser only. Perfect, but they also give you permission, and they also have the downloads to copy them or to download more. This is the very first perforated page. Okay, so you got a few of these, and they give you quite a few of them, so that's cool. Now these perforated pages are sticking together a little bit. It's not glue, it just seems to be the perforation that's kind of sticking together, but that's fine. It just came apart without any problem. And the page is still in there securely, so no problem. Your weekly meal planner. Maybe I'll give it a go. I mean, I have it right here. Might as well try it, right? Nothing wrong with being organized. More organized. Okay, and these are ones that, again, you can download or you can make copies of. And perforated, so you have a few of those. Because, you know, with a weekly planner meal, you'd pretty much figure you want 52 of them, but you can't fit 52 of them in here, of course. Food and exercise tracking. That is a great idea. Oh, water. Yeah, water, snacks. You know, it really, if you're losing weight or you're training or exercising, it really does help to keep track of that stuff. It really, truly does. I think my dad could actually use something like that too, because he's oh, you can hear the cow. Sorry, that was a cow calling. Cow don't always go moo. Sometimes they yell at each other across the field. That's what that strange sound was. But my dad could probably use something like this, and it being removable, I think that would be cool. You could put it up on your refrigerator or wherever you need to keep it. So you have quite a few of those. Holiday meal planning. You know, there's oftentimes where I run on Facebook or surfing the web, I come across a wonderful recipe that I want to try. And this is an excellent place to keep record of it. Because if I just book tab it on my computer, I'll never find it again. You know, it's one of those things that I just never go back to. Travel checklist. Excellent. You know, I think this could also be helpful. We in Alaska here, Alaska's been through a lot these last few months. On November 30th, we had a 7.2 earthquake. It was the scariest thing I've ever been through in my life, and I've been through a lot of earthquakes. I'm born and raised here in Alaska. Earthquakes usually aren't that big of a deal. This one was scary. It did widespread damage in my area. Some schools are still closed and will never be reopened because of the damage. They have to be ripped down and totally rebuilt. My home has broken walls, my ceiling cracks. You know, it was scary, scary, scary. I think some things on here actually would be really good to go through and just have a emergency kit, you know. Necessities, all of those things are the same thing that you need for an emergency kit. And it would be cool to have an emergency kit checklist, because I actually have a grab bag next to my bed that I keep, because it happened in the winter. November 30th here is winter in Alaska. It was about 20 degrees with snow. Pitch black at 8:31 in the morning. It gets really dark here in the winter time. And so I had to put together a to-go bag, because we had aftershocks, and we still have aftershocks for a long time that continue to do damage, and it was just really, really scary. And if that ever happens again, you know, I was in a position where I couldn't get out of my house because I didn't have shoes. I didn't have the things that I needed. It was pitch black. There was no electricity, you know. And earthquakes don't just give you a warning like a tornado or a hurricane. They're like, boom. All of a sudden your world is shaking, you know. So it's always good to be prepared for anything. Anyway, enough of that. So let's see here. Travel checklist. Then you even have a gardening planner. what type of plant. That's really good to have too. There's certain kinds of plants that I want to try that don't work here in Alaska that I found out through trial and error. So, good to know. Okay, so then you get to the end of the garden planner and you have some blank pages that are perforated for notes or whatever. You know, you can never have enough paper sometimes. Actually, you only get one page, and then you're back at the end of the book. And you have the pocket, which is always handy, and that is the end of the book. So, next thing let's do is a page test paper. Now, this is not the same paper right here that's in the book, obviously, so I'm going to use this one right here. This is the pen that it came with. I'll do it down here in the sunshine. Ink test. We'll label it that. Ink test. Okay, this pen does smear a little bit. You're going to have to give it a little bit of time. Again, that is the pen that it came with, so give it a little bit of time to dry. And let's look for shadowing or bleed through. You can see just a little bit of ghosting or shadowing. You probably can't see it online, but I can see it, and it's almost more the impression in the paper than it is the ink itself. Let's see what it's like if you do. When I draw, I do a lot of texture. Just testing out the pen. I know that looks messy to you guys and probably isn't something yet that you will do, but it is something that I do because that's how I do hair, fur, grass. It actually looks like there's almost a little bit of bleed through from the ink right here. It's kind of interesting. It doesn't really ghost so much, but in this part right here, it's definitely on the edge of some bleed through. So I don't know why I would do this, but if I went over it a couple more times for some reason, would it bleed through? It is definitely starting to bleed through. So that's something just to take note of. Let's see. You can see that maybe better in the sunshine. Okay. And that's not really that unusual, but let's try the Papermate Ink Joy. Ink Joy Gel. And this is the 7.7, 0.7 pen. These aren't usually the pens that I use when I sketch mostly. I use actual pens. So I think the Ink Joy pens actually do a little bit better. Let me do this a little bit more on top, see if we're getting any kind of almost bleed through. Just colored in a little darker. Yeah, a little bit of bleed through. But again, you're probably not going to be going over the same spot like that. Now this is the Ink Joy, just the regular Ink Joy. It's not the gel. It doesn't have the size on there. Oh yeah, it's 1.0 size. There goes the cow again. The cows are calling. We have cows in different pastures, and they're calling from one side of the pasture to the other. These, of course, don't bleed through at all, so that's excellent. You can, of course, see the impression through the paper. And this one I know is not going to be successful, just because I can tell from the feel of the paper. But I am a fountain pen girl. I love using my own fountain pens, and that's what I use in these notebooks here. I like being able to use my own inks, everything from a shimmery ink to bright inks to iridescent inks. So I really enjoy my ballpoint pens. My fountain pens with all my different inks. but you can only use them successfully on certain types of paper. This notebook right here has a Tomoe River paper in it, which is a Japanese paper. It's really thin, but it's not like a wood paper. It's like a synthetic type paper. I can't explain it, but it's perfect for fountain pens. Most regular papers are not. Anyway, this is a TWSBI fountain pen. I have a beautiful blue ink in there. I believe this is Iroshizuku Konpeki. Yeah. If you're into fountain pens, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you don't. But 99% of the time, this will bleed through just your regular ink. I'm sorry, your regular paper. So I'm expecting you will do that on here. That is normal because only certain types of paper work with fountain pen inks. So maybe I will be pleasantly surprised though. This pen has a stub nib, which means it's flat. It kind of gives the italic look. My handwriting isn't that great because I have like hand issues and it's hard for me to write sometimes. It's actually hard for me to bend my fingers sometimes, and I put my hand on the nib like a goofball and I got ink on my fingers. But, you know, that's my life, so I'm an artist. I usually have ink, paint, you know, who knows what else on my hands. Ink or paint is generally sometimes a little bit of, oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. It didn't bleed through. It didn't even ghost. So happy about that. Wow, I am really happy about that. Now, let me try another pen that I have here that just dumps out the ink. So, and this actually is a rose scented ink. It's by J. Irvin, but it has a fragrance, a rose fragrance. That's my father-in-law's dog. So this one is a wetter ink. You can have dry inks, you can have wet inks. This one is a wetter ink, and a lot of it comes out of the pen. So we'll see if this one survives. And it did. Oh, you know, guys, the fountain pen ink does better on this than the gel ink. That's just amazing. That makes me incredibly happy because I can use my beautiful and lovely fountain pens with rose scented ink and all my lovely inks in this. That makes me super happy. So that is our review for today. And please check out ChristianDailyPlanner.com. And I want to thank you, Ron Miller, for giving me this to test out, and I wish you the best of luck and all the blessings of God in the future with your planner. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day. I'm going to show you a view out my window real quick. There's going to be some sound while I move this, and of course my hand in the way and movement, but this is my view. That's my husband's log pile because he has a sawmill right there, but this is my view today. All right, we're done, everyone. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.